The African Israelite Justice Foundation is not your usual legal practice. You see, we focus primarily on cases involving injustice against African Israelite groups or injustice against individuals because he or she identifies as an African Israelite or an Israelite of African descent. In other words, we are not a general legal practice. Instead, we specialize on African Israelite cases. And also, family, please keep in mind, we are a brand new organization, not affiliated with any existing organizations. However, it is our hope to establish connections with all African Israelite groups and people here in the States and around the world. Family, we need to hear your stories of injustice so that we can begin to record, investigate, and identify the enemies of Israel hiding behind the veil, and then ultimately hold them accountable in a court of law. And as stated before, we are a brand new organization with limited funds, and we are in the process of expanding our resources to further enhance our legal team who will litigate our cases. And if you would like to join this historic cause, please share this message all over social media. Spread this message of IsraeliteJustice.org worldwide. And get this message from Kyrie to Kanye, from Whoopi Goldberg to Nick Cannon. And also share your stories of injustice or donate to the cause. And if you so choose to, you can remain anonymous and let us do all the work. After all, that's what the Israelite Justice Foundation is here for. We are here to fight for your right to be Israel. As always, thank you in advance. We appreciate you and love you, Israel. Take care, family. Shalom.
Hey, family, come on in, share this with everybody. Man, it's crazy how we gotta fight to be who we are, because people start, so let's shout out to the first person that was in the room was Borrowed Time. Welcome, Borrowed Time. Charles West, welcome. Caribbean Princess, welcome. Ivan, welcome. This Journey, welcome. Mr. G, Darnell, Stephanie, welcome. Artil, that's what I'm going to say. Welcome. Welcome, everybody. I want to say welcome to everybody. All right, y'all, let's get it started. So, what's up, y'all? I'm just saying welcome to everybody. There we go. Come on in the room, family. Come on in the room. Share, like, subscribe. If you have not subscribed to the channel, hit that like button so we can get that algorithm up so more people can see what we talking about. So, y'all, it's a bunch of stuff going on. Like, I just got an alert today on my phone about an hour ago. There's an active bomb threat at Trump Towers in New York. So I'll probably talk about that later. But another thing that popped up was there's a situation. Russia struck back. Russia's pissed off because the U.S., who says that they're not in the fight, but they're actually in the fight, sent money, I think $81 billion to, I think, Ukraine, and I think like 60 some odd billion, or I can't remember, to Israel, and wrapped it up wrapped it up in a package called shut down YouTube. Not YouTube, but TikTok. So Russia is pissed off. So Russia has responded. I'm gonna just play the report and then we can talk about it. Let's get straight to business, y'all.
Multiple regions. Russia has attacked and damaged Ukrainian energy facilities across multiple regions. The strikes are part of a renewed Russian focus on destroying energy supplies. But Ukraine is expecting a boost in the form of new weapons and support from the U.S. CBC's Dominic Velitis is in London and joins us now this morning. So, Dominic, what more can you tell us about these Russian attacks?
Well, Marianne, Ukraine's Air Force says Russia launched 34 cruise and ballistic missiles at power facilities in 3 separate regions overnight. So in Dnipropetrovsk, Ivano-Frankivsk, and in Lviv. And although air defenses took out the majority of them, 13 did get through and did reach their intended targets. We're told, Marianne, that 4 thermal power stations were hit in total and that an employee at one site was injured. Now, this, of course, is a bit of a recurring theme. Both sides in this conflict have been going after each other's energy facilities for some time now. Indeed, Ukrainian drones reportedly hit 2 Russian oil refineries today, causing fires at both facilities, forcing one of them to partially suspend operations. But certainly in recent weeks, Russian forces especially have ramped up their bombardments on the Ukrainian power sector, attacking thermal and hydropower stations on an almost daily basis. And as a result, Ukraine has, according to officials, lost about 80% of its thermal generation and about 35% of its hydropower capacity, and is now facing an electricity deficit, which in turn is forcing the government to introduce scheduled blackouts in parts of the country and increasingly turn to emergency imports of electricity. So no surprise this morning, Marianne, that President Zelensky has issued a new appeal for air defenses from allies in light of these latest strikes, which are having a real impact on the country's energy infrastructure. Marianne.
Dominic, we also know that the U.S. announced the purchase of more weapons for Ukraine. So what's the latest on that commitment?
Yeah, that's right. And this is a...
My thing is this, and I'm going to stop right here because I'm going to play another video. The threat that they're making is a threat here. And see, what's jacked up is U.S. can do all this stuff that they want to do as far as our politicians, the ones that make the decisions. But if Russia directs something towards us, they're going to go hide in their bunkers. They're going to leave the U.S. citizens here to figure out what to do after the fact. Have y'all seen the movie Fallout? Or the show Fallout? The show Fallout is pretty good. It's very good. But in the show, and we can get back into this. I'll talk about the show later. But you got to watch it. So I'm gonna keep playing this.
A $6 billion package of new weapons that the United States says it will buy and send to Ukraine. It's actually part of that overall $61 billion package for Ukraine, which President Joe Biden signed into law on Wednesday. So we now have a bit of a better idea of where some of that cash is going, what it's going to be spent on. The details were actually revealed yesterday by U.S. Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin. Here's a little more of what he had to say about how the money will be used. Take a listen.
This is the largest security assistance package that we've committed to date. It will include critical interceptors for Ukraine's Patriot and NASAMS air defense systems, more counter-drone systems and support equipment, significant amounts of artillery ammunition and air-to-ground munitions, and maintenance and sustainment support.
And as you heard there, Marianne, the US will be sending Ukraine Patriot air defense interceptors, missiles, not complete Patriot systems, which is something President Zelensky is desperate to get more of, as Ukraine currently only has a handful of them. And although they are expensive at about $1 billion a go, they are arguably the most effective. But as I say, Kyiv will at least soon be getting more missiles for those Patriot systems it does own. And US officials are hoping that they, along with the other bits and pieces they'll soon be sending, will
Sorry, y'all, but I changed that one too fast. Y'all, I'm gonna play something else, and we can start talking. I got nothing but time, but I wanted to do this early because I did want to let's get it started. Hold on.
The Polish president expressed willingness to host American nuclear assets in Poland, which could bring NATO and Belarus-based Russian nuclear assets pointing right at each other. Russia slammed the Polish president's attempt, even as Russia itself works to nuclearize its military district, which lies right across NATO borders. What is Russia's Leningrad military district, which it plans to nuclearize? What is Russia preparing for? Can Poland indeed host nuclear assets? I'm Shivan Janna. This is Game Plan. After Finland and Sweden's NATO accession, Russia repeatedly expressed concerns over the deployment of NATO troops and sophisticated weapons across its border. In response, Putin signed a decree re-establishing the Moscow and Leningrad military districts in the northwest Russian region, including Moscow, Kaliningrad, and St. Petersburg, to effectively posture against Poland, Ukraine, and NATO's northeastern border along the Baltic states and Finland. The military district is a type of theater command with units of all military branches, ground forces, air force and air defenses, and the navy. The Leningrad military district, close to the Finnish NATO border, will host Russia's nuclear-capable Iskander-M missile systems to carry out relevant operations in case of a NATO threat. Now, the Russian Iskander-M is a short-range ballistic missile system forming the core of Russia's modern precision strike capacity. The Polish president, on a recent trip to the US, expressed his willingness to host US nukes under NATO's nuclear sharing program, which enables NATO members without nukes of their own to take part in NATO's nuclear deployment. The Russian Foreign Ministry immediately denounced Duda's statement, calling it provocative. It said that if Poland hosts NATO nukes, Russia will add Polish territories to its list of potential targets in case of a war with NATO. It was a direct threat to Poland. The scale of nuclear saber-rattling from Russia and NATO states has been unprecedented. With the $95 billion foreign security aid bill passed, it is now a matter of time before US weapons once again reach Ukraine. Now, I'd like to remind you that months before these developments, we told you right here on Game Plan that Europe could be the center for the next nuclear war. And now we're seeing those assessments increasingly becoming reality. I've shared the link of that report in the description. Do watch and share your feedback in the comments. And for all future war zone analysis and military tactics, tune in to Game Plan right here on Beyond World is One.
Family, this is getting more stuff that jumps off there will affect us here. Nothing nice either. So the concern is this, and somebody work this, them folks' business. But the interesting thing with this is usually when they are getting ready to do something, they cut communication off. I said they didn't struck these folks power. And they were, I think, main power hubs. That impacts communication. I ain't saying nothing to happen, but I wouldn't be shocked, y'all. I wouldn't be shocked. Like if something happened in the next 24 hours. If it doesn't, yeah, all right. But that right there is one thing that you can look at. That if Russia wanted to do something to Ukraine, obviously Ukraine is wide open right now. Unless somebody's going to rush to get, I don't know what my dog is eating, but at this point I don't care. But because right now, if they're power grid is impacted by those missiles, that means communication, if they have any, is very choppy. Russia can do whatever it wants to do. Because Russia right now is looking like, oh, you're going to get, because they're looking at it like it's a threat. The money that they're getting, Ukraine is getting majority of that money. I would think majority of that money in weapons so that they can fight the war. And then, they still get, some monies, but ultimately the concern is the weaponry that they're going to get. And Russia's looking like, no, you're not going to get US based weapons. What I'm getting ready to do before y'all get those weapons, I'm going to shut it down. And literally, that's what we're watching right now. Russia is literally saying, not on my watch. And it makes you wonder, because they just approved that bill. If Biden hadn't signed off on it, he's going to sign up. Let me get some more to y'all. Yeah, y'all, I'm back. I had to get some water. Hold on. Oh yeah, y'all. I went to the doctor for this. They think I have post nasal drip, which is ultimately causing a cough. So I have to go to an ear, nose, and throat specialist. So I've never heard of that before, but that's caused my cough. I got my lungs checked. My lungs are clear. Just in case everybody wants to know. So it's not my lungs. Praise y'all. But they think it's like something called post nasal drip. So keep me lifted as I go through the next phase of this, which is ear, nose, and throat. I haven't been to an ear, nose, and throat specialist in a minute, so hold tight. We're going to continue on. Bear with me. I'm moving a little slow. All right. Back to business. So, with that being said, oh, thank y'all. With that being said, Russia is not playing games with them. Russia is like, we're at our wits' end. I had another video I want to show y'all. So, what kills me, it's like the US say, we think this is going to happen. Okay, so what are y'all doing to prepare for it? That's all they doing is creating panic. But it's like they constantly saying, well, I'm going to show y'all a video. So, Biden is discusses a potential Russian attack on a NATO ally and Article 5. So, how long is this? I'll play this.
We're all standing together against this brutal dictator. As I've argued for months, this is directly in the United States' national security interest. If Putin triumphs in Ukraine, the next move of Russian forces could very well be a direct attack on a NATO ally. And you all know full well that invoking Article 5 of the North Atlantic Treaty would be the first thing that comes to mind, which declares an attack on one as an attack on all. If Putin attacks a NATO ally like he's attacking Ukraine today, we'd have no choice but to come to their aid, just like our NATO allies came to our aid after the September 11th attacks. That's why we're supporting and surging support now to Ukraine, to stop Putin from drawing the United States into a war in Europe and in the future. You know, it seems to me we should take a little bit of a step back and realize what a critical moment this was for the United States and for NATO. This is a historical moment. In the last 2 years, we've helped unify, strengthen, and expand NATO. Imagine if instead we had failed to step up now and to support Ukraine. All those gains would have begun to unravel. The cohesion of NATO would have been weakened, and our national security would have been undermined without any question. You know, Putin started this war believing he could easily break the will of the people of Ukraine. When that failed, he changed his strategy a little bit, thinking we could break the will of NATO, break the will of the United States, break our will. Well, he's failed again. America stands with our friends. We stand up against dictators. We bow to no one, certainly not Vladimir Putin.
Want to know how to create awesome videos? Check out motionarray.com.
So for those who don't know what Article 5 is, let me give you a quick walkthrough on what Article 5 is. Wait a minute, 4.8 earthquake. It has to be an old video. Yeah, that's because I hadn't felt no earthquake. Let's look up what Article 5 is. For those who don't know what Article 5 is. Article 5 is not a good thing. Article 5 means ultimately, in a very nice diplomatic way, I declare war. Y'all remember that game we used to play as kids? I'm playing more videos than I am talking right now because, yeah, my voice is not 100%. But Tupelo, Mississippi, Order of Melchizedek. What's going on, Tupelo? I'm Memphis, Tennessee. So hold on.
Collective defence is at the heart of NATO's founding treaty. It binds NATO's 30 member countries. If one or more are attacked, Article 5 can be triggered. Article 5 states, an armed attack against one or more of them in Europe or North America shall be considered an attack against them all. Once triggered, it allows such actions as it deems necessary, including the use of armed force, to restore and maintain the security of the North Atlantic area.
An act of war is something which is an armed attack. That's what is specified in the Article 5, the Collective Defence Clause of the NATO Treaty, the Washington Treaty of 1949. But what an armed attack actually is these days is broader than it was in 1949. Because NATO invoked Article 5, the Collective Defence Clause, for the first and so far only time in its history on the 12th of September, immediately after the 9/11 terrorist attacks against the United States. And I don't think, of course, many people who knew NATO during the Cold War would have expected that when Article 5 was finally used, it would have been in response to a terrorist attack rather than a major tank thrust by the Soviet Union through the Fulda Gap in Germany during the Cold War. NATO subsequently has declared that a cyber attack, if it had a certain level of severity and really did a lot of damage, could also be considered as a case of collective defense and trigger Article 5. So the spectrum is quite broad. It depends on what you call an armed attack. It can be with electrons through cyberspace as much as through.
These folks don't know how to get straight to the point. Y'all notice that? They like to tiptoe around the term. You know, us people, we want to get straight to the point. Our question is this: what does that mean? Does that mean war? Well, it means an act of this. The last time we saw this was, and yeah, this is what this means. If you read and save me all the extras and get straight to the point. They don't know how to get straight to the point. Have y'all noticed that? But see, they cook it up to make sure They don't say war, so citizens won't be panicked, but they're still doing the stuff they want to do. This dude is not getting straight to the point. That irks me. When I say that irks me to the highest level, I can't stand when folks don't get straight to the point. So let's continue on. Ooh, because they never have. They don't know how, because they ready. They're trying to cook up a lie. So let's keep it moving, y'all. But y'all know, I try to find videos that straight to the point because I don't like messing. I don't, Rio, no. Now, Rio can be put up. He's in rare form. But they don't know how to get straight to the point. They got to cook up sentences and give you history. Hold on, y'all. Let me get Here we go. If you don't know how to sit down, time out for you. Okay, get in there. Time out. All right, y'all. I had to put Rio up for a second. They will go around the corner up the street. Am I experiencing an earthquake now? I ain't experienced nothing. Right. Just get to it. Just getting. No, I ain't experiencing. Madison, did you feel an earthquake today? Crazy thing is, I was in Jersey today. I ain't feeling an earthquake. What? Wow. Crazy thing is, I was in New Jersey today. That's crazy. But let's talk about this real quick.
Tank shells and missiles these days. But at the end of the day, the determination of if it qualifies or doesn't qualify is going to be made by the 30 countries collectively around the table of the North Atlantic Council in Brussels. After the Salisbury attacks back in 2018, NATO did act collectively. It did not declare Article 5. It didn't respond with a military countermeasure, but it expelled hundreds of Russian diplomats from embassies in Brussels, in the United States, right across the NATO world. The EU took similar action, and many other countries came out in sympathy because of the horror of the use of Novichok, and they expelled Russian diplomats as well. So I think today NATO needs to act above Article 5 level if it's an armed attack.
He done got him in there. He done got him first. He don't know how to get straight to the point. I don't want to hear the extra. So let's see if we can find another point of reference. He got on my nerves, y'all. And the older I get, the less patience I have. I'm gonna ask that question. So what does that mean? Don't not get straight to the point. Let's see if we can find somebody that can give us clear, concise definition of what does that mean, Article 5. Well, I know, but I just want to break it down to other people that have questions.
The NATO Collective Defense Treaty is meant to protect all members of NATO against an enemy incursion, no matter who it's against. The members of NATO are bound together, committing themselves to the defense of the whole. In the simplest terms, an attack against one member of NATO is an attack against every member of NATO. This particular notion is spelled out in its entirety in the Washington Treaty, Article 5. At the end of World War II, the situation in Europe called for a better defensive strategy for democratic nations. Communist movements in Europe, supported by the Soviet Union, culminated in the Czechoslovakian overthrow, effectively ending the democratically elected government therein. Not long after, the Soviet Union stepped up involvement in Germany, blockading the Allies' attempts to secure a position within the struggling German nation, weary after the punishments of World War II. As such, in April of 1949, 12 nations came together to form NATO. Those 12 nations are the United States, Canada, Great Britain, France, Belgium, the Netherlands, Norway, Denmark, Luxembourg, Italy, Iceland, and Portugal. Article 5 was the linchpin of the treaty, ensuring a collective defensive response to any attack on a NATO ally. The primary objective was to create a pact of mutual assistance against the risk of the growing Soviet Union. Within the treaty that the NATO members drew up was Article 5, specifically relating to the military assistance that would be provided should the Soviet Union seek to expand its Eastern European holdings. Article 6 serves to complement Article 5, reinforcing the use of military might, should an invasion of any NATO member occur. In the event of Article 5 being invoked, NATO members provide any assistance they can. It is an individual obligation of each ally, with each remaining in control of their own contribution. Even though Article 5 allows for military assistance, it does not require it. Sanctions.
They saying everything but the war. Military assistance, partnership to defend each other. They said everything but they coming together to say, I declare war. Y'all notice that? Ooh, that's a nice, they just said nice ways. But you know us, we finna ask questions. So they push Article 5 and then Article 6, it sounds like, leads to an ultimate just all-out war. So Saints, hold on. We keep watching. Come on.
Embargoes and various other measures of aid can be deployed as well. Each member of NATO will consult every other member, with the end goal being to restore the security of the treaty. At the onset of Article 5, a disagreement erupted between the European participants and the United States, with Europe wanting to guarantee that any attacks made against them would immediately bring America to their defense. The US, however, did not want to commit to this, and required this be reflected in Article 5, essentially ensuring that they were not obligated to intervene with military deployment against any incursions against NATO allies. Despite the setup against the Soviet Union and the United States' insistence that they not be the ultimate trump card against European incursion, the first and only instance of Article 5 being invoked was following the 9/11 attacks against the US. Within 24 hours of the attack, NATO allies invoked Article 5 to assist. NATO agreed that if the attack could be proven to have come from abroad, it would stand with the United States in whatever actions followed. On October 4th, when it was determined that the attack had indeed come from abroad, NATO put together an 8-part package to assist the United States in their newfound war on terror. From October 2001 to May 2002, NATO launched its first ever anti-terror operation, Eagle Assist, in accordance with the NATO Collective Defense Article 5. 7 NATO radar aircraft were deployed to patrol the skies over the United States, with 830 crew members across 13 NATO countries represented in the operation. NATO's involvement carried over into Operation Active Endeavor. NATO's standing naval forces were deployed to patrol the eastern Mediterranean, monitoring shipping in an attempt to stifle suspected terrorist activity within shipping lanes. A year later, the operation was expanded to include the entire shipping industry in the Mediterranean. While the aftermath of 9/11 was the first instance of a collective NATO armed response, it was not the first time that NATO put collective defense measures in place. In 1991, at the request of Turkey during the Gulf War, NATO deployed Patriot missiles in assistance of Turkish forces. During the crisis in Iraq, a similar measure was put into place in 2003 in Operation Display Deterrence, and in 2012, the situation in Syria was met with a nearly identical response, again on behalf of Turkish forces engaged in the conflict. Regardless of individual events triggering a response, NATO always has a standing action-ready defensive network, including a NATO Response Force, or NRF, composed of armed forces from all allied nations. NRF forces are permanently deployed along hotbeds of activity, as well as maritime forces in allied and international waters. NATO also has an established air defense system to protect against missile and aircraft attacks, and is constantly policing the air around NATO allied nations, particularly around members who don't have their own air force. These patrols are engaged on a rolling basis, without fail, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. The invocation of Article 5, NATO's collective defense, increased in 2014 with Russia's illegal annexation of Crimea, in tandem with the expanded ISIL campaigns across several continents.
This game, you're not ready for it.
You're in the middle of this beautiful sci-fi environment, and you're seeing intrigue, the espionage, the alliances form, the power that shifts around, and it's amazing to watch.
Simple actions can have massive effects.
You can cooperate with people, compete with them, make friends.
Sorry, y'all. I got a little ping from work. Took me away for a second, but I'm back. Y'all. Oh, I gotta use Bravo browser. Okay, or Brave browser, so I don't get the extras. Thank you. But I got sidetracked. I'm sorry, y'all. I got a message for something doing work for work. But y'all, I'm gonna tell y'all something. If this ain't a time right now for us to see what's going on, what a time. Ooh, y'all. I'm just sitting here watching this. And they using words other than the word. And see, that's the only problem. Ukraine is not NATO. Hold on. Well, I think hold on. So let's look up the 30 NATO countries. So it says Albania, Belgium, Bulgaria, Canada, Cretan, Czech Republic, Denmark, Finland, France, Germany, Greece, Hungary, Iceland, Italy, Latvia, Lithuania, Luxembourg, Montenegro. There's a place called Montenegro. Y'all, it's a place. It's called Montenegro. I kid y'all not. And Poland I think Poland is a part of NATO. The reason I'm looking it up is if they mess with Poland, that's the name of it. I kid y'all not. That's the name of it. Montenegro. I done heard it all. Lord, but Poland is NATO. So if he's pointing any firearms at Poland and he does anything to Poland, anything to any of the NATO countries, all bets off. All bets off. Negro. I said Negro. I'm not saying Negro. I'm saying Negro. All bets off. All bets off. And he's threatening. He is threatening to point it to them. Y'all, this is going to be real. I'm talking about real interesting. He is threatening to strike NATO. So one of the NATO countries. So y'all see the depth of what this can turn into if they enact it. Because we want to look at, and I'm learning something too as I go. Hold on. Let's see. Y'all got time? Are y'all enjoying this? Please tell me yes. Tell me yes if y'all not. If no, if y'all not. Yes if y'all are. No if y'all not. So let's see. Oh, it's a couple of videos here. We finna go through it. Hold on, let's see. Let's see. Hold on. If they pull that, man, when I tell y'all, it is going to be an interesting time. It's going to be interesting. I'll say that much. It's going to be interesting because, let me see. Let's see. Here we go, y'all. is it? Hold on. Let me see. Are y'all enjoying this? Because I want to do some more research on Article 5. I'm actually researching with y'all. What is, hold on. Let's see. Let's look at some more stuff. Yeah, and the only reason I'm playing back-to-back videos because I'm trying to save my voice, as you can hear. Here we go. Oh, it's about to go down. We're gonna come back to this one. I'm gonna save this one for y'all. Hold on. Y'all know how we do it. Y'all know how we do it. Don't get sensitive. For y'all who are organized, I'm not the one. We're going straight together. Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's share. This is gonna be interesting. I'll say that much. This is gonna be real interesting to see how.
Article 5 is part of the North Atlantic Treaty, also called the Washington Treaty. It's the legal document that created NATO in 1949. It began with 12 countries, including the U.S. as a founding member. Now it's made up of 30. Of the articles in the treaty, Article 5 is the most serious. It states an attack against one is an attack against all, and in such cases, members will help the attacked nation in any way necessary to restore security. That includes military action. Article 5 has only been invoked once, after 9/11. But Article 5 only applies to NATO members, which does not include Ukraine. However, Lithuania, Latvia, and Estonia are members. They are also former republics of the Soviet Union. If Russia turns its sights towards them, they can invoke Article 5. And as a member nation, the U.S. would have to respond. President Biden has said America would defend its NATO allies if Russia advanced beyond Ukraine. And that's connecting the dots. For 9 News Mornings, I'm Alexandra Lewis.
I'm telling y'all. If he does, important question is, did you feel the earthquake centered? No, I didn't. I didn't feel the earthquake in New Jersey. What time did it happen? Because I actually was in New Jersey today. So I'm going to go back to the original subject. But yeah, I didn't feel it. When I tell y'all this is going to be interesting to see how this plays out. Let me get some more water. Jeez. Like I told y'all, I actually have postman regret, so that's why I'm coughing. I know a lot of people are worried. But and it always acts like this when the weather is shifting. But y'all, this is gonna be interesting to see how this plays out. It's gonna be interesting to see the end result of this. I feel like it's gonna be war. War is coming. I just feel it. It's just obvious that they have an agenda to push a war. The only reason somebody said this today in a chat, but I said this a while back. The only reason they're monitoring their words, because if they say something too fast, it can cause the market to crash or cause an issue in the economy, which they really don't care, but they don't want it to happen that fast. Because if it happens that fast, it can create mass chaos. People are going to lose their people gonna lose it. Hold on. War is here. War is here. So, any questions? Any Okay, I'm back, y'all. So, y'all, I apologize. And I'm running my mouth and talking, and I'm drinking water. So, y'all, my doctor told me I have post nasal drip. Just in case y'all don't know, I'm back though. This cough is really bad, especially with this change of weather. So, it's really getting to me today. But okay, so anybody want to join? They welcome to join because this is going to be interesting. Because while we're talking about that, all of this is going on. More chaos. I'm gonna try that. Somebody else mentioned that to me. So let's see. This is going on.
Zur Seite bitte, zur Seite, einmal Platz machen. Super, geht so. Und Sie können ruhig laufen, ne? Sie haben ja Beine.
Yeah, this is going on, right?
Laufen. Kommen Sie
All over
an
the
den
world.
Platz. Aus dem Weg. Platz machen. Laufen Sie einfach mit. Laufen Sie einfach mit. Achtung, Platz machen. Achtung, Platz machen.
Chaos. Mikael, welcome.
Hey, hier!
Chaos.
Er kann nicht mehr atmen. Es geht ihm nicht gut. Keine Gewalt. Abstand halten. Ich kenne meine Rechte. Ich kenne meine Rechte. Wir gehen da nach. Machen Sie Platz. Ja, aber machen Sie Platz. Ich kenne meine Rechte. Ich kenne meine Rechte. Ich darf filmen. Ich darf das mal.
This is what's going on.
Shame on you! 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 You are not alone! You are
Since we are millions. We are all Palestinians.
Hey, truth is light. Shalom. You're welcome to come up, sis. I'm gonna pin this. Hold on, but keep on. I'm gonna keep going. But yeah, welcome. Y'all, it's pure chaos right now. Pure chaos. Hey, Mikael, how are you?
I'm doing pretty good, sis. How you doing? This your little brother down here in Oldham, Chesapeake, Tupelo, Mississippi. What's going on?
Tupelo, Mississippi. What's going on with you? I'm good. I'm country Mississippi, Memphis, Tennessee, in the midst of these Brooklyn people. That's so funny when they hear me talk. They like, so where are you from? I said, is it that obvious? They said, yeah, it's obvious. I said, oh, okay. I've had people say, are you
Yes,
from
sir.
I said, you from Mississippi? I said, no, I'm not. I'm from the other side, which is Tennessee. But I'm gonna tell you something. This is gonna be real interesting. I'm gonna finish playing this and we can talk about everything that's going on. It's like pure chaos. Pure
Let me
chaos.
ask you this before you play the video. They done put in place Article 5 already.
No, not yet. But if because the thing is, Ukraine is not NATO. If by any chance Russia gets jiggy with or decides to cut up with, let's say, Poland, and they are threatening to strike NATO. They're threatening, and I need to reword that. They are threatening to strike NATO. If they strike NATO, guess what's gonna happen? That's when
It's party time, dude.
it's on and popping, and they try to say it in a nice way that we're gonna provide military assistance. I said, who a fool? Not me and nobody else. They getting ready to. It's about to go down, and they know it, and they're trying to find the best way to say it because they know if they say somebody said get jig, don't do me like that. They know that if it go down, it's gonna be an end game for the economy. It's gonna be an end game for the economy because the economy is already at its knees. The
Well,
market is
if
finna go left.
if Russia go and push that button on Poland,
That's it.
this is what y'all gotta keep your head on the swivel about. Don't forget, we got Russian military crossing that border as civilians.
Yep.
Don't forget, we got Chinese military soldiers crossing that border down there in Texas as skies as civilians. So, because the fight going on over there, you just watch. We'll see the FBI just come out with they on high alert for a terrorist attack. See what I'm saying? So all these guys are sleeper cells here. All they just waiting on is the phone call to get busy over here. So don't get comfortable.
And see what they're trying to tell us. Like here in New York, they have National Guard. You'll see National Guard here, and what they'll say is, "Oh, we're out here because of the bomb. You know, with the homeless people doing what they're doing. Homeless people been cutting up in New York since I've been here. Since I've been here, homeless people have always cut up. This ain't nothing new. Just here recently, you remember back a couple of years ago, there was homeless people that was pushing Asians on the track, and they was calling them um, they were trying to protect the Asian community but these homeless people been cutting up here for years since I was visiting, even longer than that. Not all of a sudden they're so concerned about the crime, I'm gonna be honest, crime is not that bad in New York in comparison to Memphis. If you're gonna bring National Guard, you're gonna bring it to Memphis. But no, they're bringing National Guard here to watch, and they're not telling us. I kid y'all not. Anybody that lives here can tell you, you will see them somewhere in the city walking around the neighborhoods. I've seen them walking around the neighborhoods. I've seen them in the subways. And they're not inside the subways, they're outside of the subways, which means it's stupid. Meaning, I don't understand why they sit outside of the turnstiles because the problem, the fights, and the heated, the craziness happens once you enter into the subway station. So you may see one or two here, but I have seen them like I was talking to somebody on the phone, and I was in Grand Central Station. I saw. And Grand Central Station is a hub where you see people. It's a couple of main hubs here that I'm learning. Train stations that everybody comes in and out of. If you live in New York or Amtrak and all that, Grand Central Station and Penn Station. Those are the two. And Port Authority. Those three are like the central hubs where they have to be careful. And that's where you see a lot of them over in that area. You may see a couple of them over here or in some places in Brooklyn. You might see some in Atlantic. You might see a few, but you see a lot of them there. And then I saw some just walking around the streets. So why all of a sudden y'all concerned about crime when we got cities that's way worse than New York? Now I understand that they say National Guard is New York's national. It's based. I guess it's based on the state itself, but yet and still, it's not. New York is no worse than what it was 5 years ago. I'm being honest. It's not that bad. It's bad, but it's not that bad. If you keep your head on a swivel, you're fine. You see homeless people cut up all the time. Not to say they're not dangerous, but yeah, I'm like, yeah, something going down. Something interesting going down.
Yeah, the FBI said in that report that they it was gonna be snipers out and about. So that's what I was saying. It's like, man, it's some interesting time, but it's gonna get super dangerous over here in the US.
Yeah, because you heard just here recently there was a bomb threat over in Trump Tower.
See what I'm saying? Something going on, and we know what's going on.
This is today. It was a bomb threat.
Interesting.
It's
I
real.
yield, sis. You can play the video. I was just want to throw that out there.
Oh no, you good, you good. Suspecting national guard is there to protect the financials. Yes, the financial epicenter is here. Wall Street is here. All the financial districts. This is the financial capital. I don't care what nobody say. Money flows in and out of this city. This city is the mecca when it comes to financials. And and the thing is, we can keep talking about this, and then we'll go to this protest. This is why this protest. This is why I don't know why I said protest. This is why it's heightened security here. Again, you can't risk somebody going into Wall Street. You can't risk. Another place that they would be concerned about is DC. DC is just a couple of blocks down, which is just when I say that I mean about 5 hours away. DC is right down the road. So you got the epicenter when it comes to the government, and then you have the epicenter when it comes to financials, just 5 hours away from each other. Realize how dangerous that is. That's dangerous. That if they try
Hey,
to hit, it's
all
dangerous.
that's close. 'Cause look,
Right?
you got DC, you got New York City. They're just about an hour and a half, 2 hours. You can be in Philadelphia. Then from Philadelphia is Baltimore. All that's just right there together. Then DC just right over right 30 minutes from Baltimore. So it's like, hey, you know what I'm saying? Man, it's crazy.
And then not to mention Virginia. Virginia has all those military um I guess hubs there. It's a military hub in Virginia. And Virginia is right next to DC. Like that where
Hmm.
all military hubs are, it's just like 30 minutes. 30 minutes. I lived in Virginia near some of the military locations. It would take me 30, 45 minutes to get to DC.
Yeah, I deliver all over DC. I know DC like Memphis. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Thank you. So you know how I look, and it's just, and if anybody knows how DC is made, I am terrified to be at DC if something happens. Do you realize how hard it is to get out of DC?
Oh, that 495 ain't no joke. You hear me?
DC is a nightmare to get out of. Then you got all those bridges. I just pray that I'm safe. Y'all keep me lifted. But you can go from DC and then go into Virginia. You got bridges, you got to go over there. You got Baltimore, you got a bridge. You got Delaware a bridge. You got New York a bridge. It's like multiple bridges to be able to get out of that nightmare. And once you're out, I really believe once your feet hit Tennessee, that's when everything changes. It's not as bad. But it's like trying to get out of New York to Baltimore. No, New York to Philly to Baltimore to DC to Virginia. That's where that like right there is that would be some work there. That would be some work there. Even if you decided to take another route to get there and go through Pittsburgh and West Virginia, you still got some. It's interesting.
Man, look, you trying to get out of there, then you got to go through all those mountains. Woo, Lord have mercy. And hills and valleys. Yeah. That's why I start running up this is when all of this start getting hyped up. I said, no, I'm gonna be on the East Coast when the boo boo hit the fan. I don't need to be nowhere up there.
Somebody said they've been living, and I'm not a fear mongerer. Please know that I'm not a fear mongerer. By no means am I doing that. Hold on, and I don't want people walking around afraid. That y'all know I don't do that. Y'all know I don't do that. But I'm just saying, I'm looking at because I was thinking about. I said, man, not to mention trying to get through New Jersey. I forgot New Jersey. I was just looking and I was thinking about it. I said, man, this is just trying to get out of New York alone to get in New Jersey. Once you get to New Jersey, you got to fight through New Jersey. It's just, yeah.
Now you got
Yeah,
the Lincoln Tunnel, then you got the George Washington Bridge, GW Bridge, and all of that, and the Bronx Bridge. Oh Lord, whew.
yep.
I do not miss New York City.
You lived in New York for a little bit?
Oh no, sis, I drive trucks. I just know that area, real good. Yeah.
Yeah, so you know how it is. So while we got this going on, you got a situation going where, I mean, citizens are now borderline at a place where they are literally at the brinks of just, I'm protesting anything. You don't have the citizens backing you but the way that they can do that is to, since they cutting up, let me scare them. You know how they do that? And they scare you by something happening to make people rally behind them. We've seen them do that numerous times. Let me scare the hell out of them. So that's all they got to do, something to scare the citizens, to make the citizens say, let's go to war. But I don't think this generation is going to want to go to war. This ain't like with Pearl Harbor, because with Pearl Harbor, they was totally against going against war. Before Pearl Harbor, with World War II, they were totally against going to war. But the moment they bombed Pearl Harbor, guess what happened? They was in war. At war. Come on out of there. You trapped. Come on. I thought it was special. So it's gonna be interesting.
I remember when I was a senior in high school when 9/11 hit, and I remember it like yesterday. So when it hit, the next day, after they got attacked, because 9/11 is like our Pearl Harbor, in our generation. So the next day, the recruiters for the military was at our school.
Yep. And guess what?
They was at the school.
And they was ready to go to war. People didn't know what they were fighting for.
That white boy was signing up their life. I said, and he was like, "You go? Oh, no, oh no, no, it ain't. I had sister enough to know it's not my fight."
Man, they were recruited. I remember that because I was in college at the time, and while I was in college, they were they came on the college campus, and I remember it now. Recruiters, I saw the college recruiters coming on the military recruiters come on the college campuses, and I said, "We getting ready to go to war." I was like, "Yeah," I said, "We getting ready to go to war." I said, "They on the campus. I mean, in a matter of days." A matter of days. When black folks was not real amped to go to war at that time. They would not, because I remember talking to a couple of my friends, because they gave them all types of good offerings and packages. If you join, you'll be able to do this. Because I remember at that time I was thinking about joining the Navy, and then I changed my mind because my mama made me change my mind. Because my mom said, "You're not going over there to fight no war." So, and see the difference in now and then is Pearl 9/11 and 9/11 on up, women gonna have to go to war, because women went to war then. Because I think women actually women didn't go into heavy combat, but they were still involved. Let me ask some of my military people during 9/11 and the Iraqi war. Did women go into heavy combat? I don't think they did. I don't think they went into heavy combat. But this generation, if something happens, I believe.
Yeah. I'm just gonna go by the movies. The movies I was seeing, they was in the heavy combat.
Wow.
Now that's just on the movie. We can't but take that with a grain of salt. But I don't know movies like the war movies they talk about when they was over there that they made. That women they had guns. They was going in them houses, talking to the women, talking their language and stuff. I said, man.
And the crazy thing is this. What happens right now? We're in the midst of civil unrest. Let's just be honest. Based on their definition of civil unrest all through the U.S. These protests where police having to get involved, they would consider this to be civil unrest. They're going to try, and I really in my hearts believe that they're going to try to do something, again, to scare everybody back into their roles, meaning back following us. Let's do something to rally the troops together. Man, I'm just
the only thing I missed about 9/11 white people were so nice. You could that was our time to go get our reparations. We could have got it at that time, I believe. They were so nice.
And they wouldn't
Oh,
have
they were so nice.
They ain't never that nice. That
Oh,
nice. I don't believe that. I believe they would
they were
came
they
out.
they were scared. Those white people were scared. I remember that like they were scared. So I'm talking about they were so nice.
I
We're
remember.
all Americans and let's go eat apple pie. Come over to my house. Let's have a steak dinner. What? What the? What are they going on? We're Americans. We're one people. You don't remember that, sister?
I remember that. But the way to make them act up is when you start telling them, "Give me my money." Then you're gonna see them change real quick. You know me. I'm like, let's see. But like I said, I think this is just I ain't gonna say a recipe for disaster, but it's a recipe for something right now. Again, I'm gonna show these videos to show you how much unrest is going on right now. So even within Germany, this unrest is not just within the U.S. It unrest within all the NATO countries right now, where people are protesting in the streets, and what they're going to do is wrap the Ukrainian war in with the Israel war and make it one single war. And they're going to direct their finger at Russia, and it's going to be whoo, man! I'm sitting here like this going to be interesting. Well, Saints, I'm going to be on the sidelines watching, and I don't agree. I'm not putting my child in nobody's war. I refuse. I refuse. And the thing is, what I'm concerned is they're going to try to start drafting if something happens because they don't have the head count or the numbers to support a war. And people don't realize that the draft is still prevalent. The only reason they have not pushed the draft is because they always had the necessary head count to be able to support any military efforts. We don't have that head count anymore. So it's just a matter because if the draft was over, they would, and if they did away with the draft, they wouldn't be asking people when they signing up for their student loans to do selective service. So people think that sleeping giant is dead. That sleeping giant is there. And once they go to war, they're going to enact that, and they're going to throw it out there, and they're going to start drafting. And guess who's going to draft? They're going to try to get our children first. So
yeah, I mean that's what they did. Because my dad, he was drafted into the Vietnam War, and he got pictures. You know, I was like, Dad, they mostly drafted y'all. Did he said, man, when we was out there in those jungles, it was us. It was a few sprinkled here and there, you know, but yeah, that draft. He was talking about how it affected his family. You know, his mom, which is my grandma. It's gonna be. They gonna come for our children. No, that ain't no doubt in my mind. They gonna try to come for our children. Even try to probably come for me because I'm still a young. You know, I'm 40. They gonna try to come get us too.
They gonna raise that age of draft. They finna get everybody.
If Ukraine sending 60-year-old men out there on the front line, don't think America coming to get you 40 and 50-year-olds, 30-year-old?
I just saw a video of Ukraine trying. They're trying hard to recruit now for this war. They're recruiting, and they're telling their people in Ukraine, "Come home, because we getting ready to go to war." But that's all it takes. I'm sitting here and I'm watching. If you see any let's run through the list of the NATO countries. We're finna run through this list real quick so y'all can see who is NATO and who is not. Keep in mind, Ukraine is not NATO. That's why they have not, and I hope I didn't say that earlier. I may have said it. Ukraine is not the grounds for enacting Article 5. I don't know. Hold on. He going in time. I'm back. I was trying to let my dog have a little freedom, and he decides to cut up. So NATO, let me see, countries. Let's go through the list of all. I think it's 30. But yeah, let's go through the list of NATO countries. Let's see if this goes through all the list. These are all the NATO countries. Share this tab.
The alliance started with 12 member countries in 1949. However, the founding treaty allows for other European nations to join the alliance as long as all existing allies agree. Any prospective member must share NATO's core values and have the capacity and willingness to contribute to security in the Euro-Atlantic area. Today, NATO has 30 members who are stronger and safer together.
I am crazy. Why didn't nobody text me and tell me I was muted? So I'm back on it, y'all. I'm sorry. So these are the list of NATO countries. This is what I'm saying. So y'all, I have been muted. I apologize. So you had Belgium, Canada, Denmark, France. These were the first round of NATO countries right here. August 24th, 1949, which was created after the establishment of Israel. 1948 was the establishment. 1949. Somebody said they was trying to text me to tell me, but after the establishment, and then all of a sudden here come the NATO countries. Here they go. Y'all see this? The youngest one are these two right here. These two, Finland and Sweden. They pissed off about that. They pissed off.
Show your screen, see?
Oh, y'all know what? I'm crazy. I'm tired. Y'all, I'm tired. Okay, here we go. Back on the list again. I thought I had my screen shared. Okay, so back on my screen. So these are all the NATO countries right here. Y'all see these? You got Belgium. These are the newer ones right here. Not the, I mean the older ones. August 24th, 1949. This was the first group that came into the agreement, which is United States, United Kingdom, Portugal, Norway, Netherlands, Luxembourg, Italy, Iceland, France, Denmark, Canada, and Belgium. These were the main ones. And later on, the other ones started joining. And then, it's like it stopped for a minute. And after pretty much 1952, this is when you start seeing the other ones start to join. Because you saw one part of Germany join, which was West Germany. I guess all of Germany joined in 1990. But in 1982 is when you start seeing other countries joining. And you had Spain, Czechs, Hungary, Poland, all these other countries started joining. And then when it got down here to Finland and Sweden, that's the last one. And Putin is pissed off about that. Putin is real pissed off about that. But these are only, like you said, these are European alliances. And I said that when I was muted, so I'm sorry. These are the alliances between the European nations. But my question is, with this, who do y'all think the four carpenters are? Let's get it going. Who do y'all think the four carpenters are? I think Russia, China. I'm still questioning the who are the other two?
North Korea.
I can see
Or
that.
what you say? I know Russia and China, but let me see. Could it be India or South America? Or
I can see India. I really can't see India as much. Y'all can see India. I don't know why I couldn't see. I can see Iran and I can see North Korea quicker than I could India.
that's it. Iran, India, China, and Russia.
Yep. The four carpenters are the individuals that are outside of the alliance. They're
And
outside of the European alliance, which is NATO.
the wild card would be North Korea. That would be the wild card.
And you think it's a wild card?
Yeah, wild card. Yeah.
But we definitely know that not US, but I definitely know that Russia and China are the two. That'll be interesting. Because I see those as being the countries that never participated in the slave trade. When I look at NATO, everybody in NATO just about had a hand in the slave trade. You got Spain, you got United States, you have the UK, you have Portugal, you have Belgium. Belgium did a work. Belgium was evil. The stuff the Belgians.
Ain't that what blackface? Ain't that where blackface come from?
I'm not sure, but y'all remember the chocolate hands? That's what they
Yeah,
came from.
yeah.
I think the Congo. Belgium is a whole nother level evil when it comes to the diabolical things they've done to us. But yeah, a lot of these countries had a major hand. A lot of those countries in NATO had a major hand in the slave trade. The only ones that set out on it and said we're not gonna France. Oh, we're not gonna talk. We ain't gonna France. And when you look at the NATO countries, you go into the Berlin Project. I think it's called the Berlin Project, when they divided up Africa amongst each other. A lot of those were the NATO countries. When they divided Africa, and I think it's the Berlin Project. We talked about that. Yeah, the Berlin Conference. Me and Teo talked about that a couple of years ago. The Berlin Conference, a lot of those are the NATO countries that divided Africa amongst each other and scattered Israel. Man, this awakening is bigger than just us knowing who we are. This awakening is letting us know who the enemy is too. I hate to say it. I don't hate to say it, but it allows you to see. You're allowed to see who has such a hand in the scattering and the dividing up of Africa. A lot of those, like I said, a lot of those are those NATO countries.
I said this at the beginning of the year. I said the Most High finna make us very uncomfortable in our captivity because we're too comfortable here in America. Just speaking on America alone, I ain't speaking about I know Judah scattered to the four corners of the earth. I know that, but here in America, Judah is comfortable, and he gonna make us uncomfortable.
Yep. Yep. He is. He is. It's just, it's gonna be interesting to see. It's gonna be interesting to see how this plays out. Let me see. It's gonna be real interesting to see how this plays out because again, the very countries that had a hand in the slave trade are the first few, the founders of this alliance, and those founders of those alliances are again tied to the divide of Africa amongst each other. Man,
I mean, it's not gonna go. It's not gonna go well with Iran and Israel. What's that's going on? Let's see. When you go in the book of the second Ezra chapter, I think either 15 or 16. I think it's chapter 16, where the dragons of Arabia are gonna remember their nature. Where in the Bible it says that Ishmael will be a wild man. When they align together, the dragons of Arabia, and they wrap things up over there, getting rid of those, Revelation 2:9 and 3:9 is out the way. Guess what? They coming. In second Ezra said they coming steadfast toward Babylon. See, everything that they doing over there now, it's finna blow up in their face, and it's coming here.
Yep. 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 He's angry. His anger is his anger is real. His anger is real, and he's not backing down. He's not backing down. That's why I'm just like, man, I'm just gonna chill out and watch what's going on. I'm not going. Y'all punish me for a few minutes. So it's gonna be interesting to see how this plays out. It's gonna be interesting. Hold on. Y'all, I'm just saying, I'm getting ready to close out because I want to have enough energy. Because I got a strange feeling I'm gonna need energy this week because it's gonna be real interesting. I'll say that much. It's gonna be real interesting. It's gonna be real interesting. And I've been telling some people, I said, y'all, it's really quiet right now, but it's an eerie quiet. Like after the incident with Iran and Israel, I said, man, this is quiet. And then here we go. Russia.
Yeah, that's what me and my brothers were talking about. It's like, man, it's quiet, man. What's going on? It's like, I said, man, when they say peace, 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 sudden destruction. Hey, we just wait. What's going to be the next big thing? It's coming. I mean, we just don't know where, but it's coming.
Yep, it's definitely coming. So it seems like this is going to be a weird summer. This is not going to be a normal summer.
Well, we got a saying down here in the South: when it get hot, Negroes get crazy. When that heat crank up, it's gonna be like you say, sis, a wild summer.
Man,
I can see. I know it's gonna get wild. Cause listen, we ain't even we were in the spring right now, but it's just now warming up. Just look at the events from January 2024 to where we at now. Look what just popped. You can't even name it all.
Yep. Yep.
We had the eclipse. They done sent those red 5 heifers over there to Israel they over there practicing sacrifice. We had attack on Israel. What else? I mean, it's just so much. We had an earthquake in New Jersey, New York, or whatever. It's just so much going on. You can't keep up with everything.
Man. Then, not to mention, you got Russia sending missiles over into Ukraine, bombing their electrical grid. So it's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
It's crazy. I'm gonna be back in the South. That's all I got to say.
Hey, come on back home, sis.
Back in the South. I'm finna sit. I know. I'll get them in a minute. I'm gonna be chilling in the South for a little bit, just to see what's going on. Cause I done got message after message. Oh, you need to get out. I'm like, yo, I'm headed back to Memphis for a little bit to take a break. I need a break because I'm tired. I just need a break in general. Plus, I want to, since my dad passed away, I want to kind of spend some time with my mom. Spend a lot more time with her. So,
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, sis. Sorry to hear that.
yeah, I lost my dad in January. So I'm gonna go hang out with her. So I'm gonna be in Memphis for a couple of months and just chilling out. I'm not gonna be here. So we're gonna see. We're gonna see. We're gonna see. We're gonna watch. We're gonna watch. We're gonna watch as well as pray. Um, but it's just something that it's just telling me something coming. Something. Have you ever seen that movie as a kid? You got to be Gen X to to understand what I'm talking about. This movie came out when I was a little kid. It's called Something Wicked This Way Comes. That's how it feels right now. Oh, that's how it feels right now. Like something wicked is coming. But we are going to be covered. I'm not worried about us. But we're still going to feel it. We're going to feel it, but I don't think we're going to feel it to the magnitude that I don't think that we're going to feel it to the magnitude that they will feel it. The difference is us, you have to be disconnected from the system. And all of us have been so disconnected from the system that we are, I mean, it's just we're tired. We're tired. So anything you got to add before I close? Because I'm gonna lay down.
Yeah, your family stay prayed up. You know what I'm saying? Prayed up. Keep your head on the swivel when you out in the public areas. You know what I'm saying? Hey, keep the Most High first, and everything gonna be all right. This ain't a time to fear. We know what this. We know who this judgment is heading for. So let's get right with the Most High and get out of His way. And get your popcorn ready. And get your champagne or your Pepsi or whatever you like to drink. Because there's going to be a lot of weeping and gnashing of teeth here in a minute. Hallelujah. I'm gone, sis.
All right, Mikael, thank you for joining me. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Anytime.
I was gonna do a late night, but I was like, no, I'm gonna go to bed tonight. I'm gonna go to the movie. Come here. And get some rest.
Go get you some rest, because I'm going to get me some.
I am. I'm gonna get a little Benadryl because my allergies are giving me the blues, and I will see y'all on tomorrow. Ooh, well, Saints, I've enjoyed myself. I see y'all on tomorrow. I'm gonna do some. I got a feeling I'm gonna be doing a lot more of these because I'm not gonna have any choice because it's gonna be so much going on. So y'all gonna see y'all not because I'm telling y'all I'm planning something. It's just gonna be so much going on. It ain't gonna even be a plan. That's why I'm like, whew. Plus, I get constant alerts on my phone of anything that's coming, any upcoming events, what's going on. And that's when I saw Russia and NATO. And I said, oh my goodness. So, real hush. So I'm getting ready to go to bed. Thank y'all for joining me. I hope y'all have enjoyed yourself. If you have not subscribed, please subscribe to my channel. Share, like, hit that like button. That like button is very important. And I'll see y'all hopefully tomorrow. If anything pop off tonight, I'll be back online, y'all. So, all right. Thank you, family. Good night.